Hello everyone and welcome to an online education fair by Education Solution, your international consulting agency named Study in Russia University Open Talks. During our online session, prospective international students explore academic, professional opportunities offered by leading Russian universities. It's my great pleasure to welcome you to this exhibition session dedicated to one of Russian leading universities, Ural Federal University. It's my pleasure to introduce our distinguished guest from Ural Federal University, Zaryansky Sergey Alexandrovich.
Greetings, everyone. Nice to see you.
Great. Nice to see you too. Thank you so much for joining us today. In the next 60 minutes, you will discover what it means to study at Ural Federal University, what academic programs are available for international students, why Yekaterinburg is an attractive and strategic student city, and how to begin your application journey to Russia. If you are serious about receiving a competitive, internationally recognized education in a dynamic environment, you are in the right place. So, my name is Camila, and I'm International Student Service Specialist of Education Solution. Nice to meet you. Our company supports international students in selecting the right university in Russia and guides them through the full admission process, from choosing a program to arriving in Russia and adapting to student life. Today, we are proud to introduce Ural Federal University, one of the largest and most respected university in Russia, recognized for its strong engineering, IT, natural sciences, economics, and humanities programs. UrFU is located in Yekaterinburg, the fourth largest city in Russia and the administrative center of Ural region. Yekaterinburg is often described as the bridge between Europe and Asia, a major industrial, scientific, and cultural hub. For students, this means access to large industrial and international companies, research centers and technology parks, professional forums and academic conferences, and strong internship and networking opportunities. At the same time, Yekaterinburg offers a comfortable urban lifestyle, developed infrastructure, efficient public transport, and a vibrant student community. Compared to Moscow and St. Petersburg, living costs here are more affordable, while academic quality and career prospects remain highly competitive. So, Mr. Sergey, please introduce the Ural Federal University and tell us what makes it a strong choice for international students, please.
Once again, greetings to everybody. May you provide me with the rights to show the presentation I have. Right now is unavailable. Thank you very much. So, my name is, as evident, is Sergey Zaryansky, and on behalf of Ural Federal University, greetings to all who is listening, watching, to us. And I would like to deliver some words of gratitude to the organizers of our today's meeting, the Education Solutions academic company. And without further ado, shall we begin? The first question which might pop up your mind is, why would anyone choose the Ural Federal University to study? Well, first of all, we are a world-class university located in the middle of Russia, in the heart of Russia. Currently, we hold 419th position in the Qualcomm Siemens World University rankings, which is quite good considering our rich history, which is vastly and prominently enriched by events, which has happened throughout more than 100 years from the beginning of our university in 1920. I will stop at that a little bit later. We are a multicultural university family, actually, which provides scholarship opportunities, employment opportunities, and mobility, academic mobility opportunities, to anybody who's skillful enough to be a part of it. And what might be the most important thing for you is that we try our best to make your studies in Russia, your life in Russia, as if it has been your home. Now, I will once again stop on the location of the Ural Federal University, the Ural Mountain Range, and the city of Yekaterinburg in particular. It may seem a faraway destination, however, we are quite close to everybody. It's just 2 hour flight from Moscow or St. Petersburg, and it does not take a long time to travel from almost any region of the world, considering the location of Russia, of course. And as it has already been mentioned, the Yekaterinburg is the fourth or the third, depends on who is assessing that, city of Russia, being the industrial, cultural, economic capital of the Ural region itself. And just to provide you with some insights, how can it be experienced by yourself? In 2016, 2017, the Yekaterinburg was one of the main stages for the FIFA World Football Cup. I'm sorry, and it is an evidence of some importance our city holds. More you will, of course, be able to experience yourself while here with us at the Ural Federal University itself. Currently, the city has managed to achieve and establish more than 20 diplomatic missions and consular offices in Yekaterinburg, including the most recent one is India, an Indian embassy here. Also, we have Chinese consulates, honorary consulates of South African Republic and several African states as well, and some other nations included. That might be important to those who is strongly considering joining not just the Ural Federal University per se, but considering to build a career in some sort of international relations, if that might pop up your mind. To illustrate better what our university is, I would like to stop at some figures. So we have, as I have already mentioned, more than 100 years of history. This year we have turned 106 years old, which is quite a big number for a university located far away from Moscow and St. Petersburg, where most of the oldest, universities of Russia exist. Currently, we managed to unite more than 50,000 of students, or roughly 5,000 of whom, I'm sorry, the presentation is off. Can you see it? Is it visible? I can see myself. Yeah, it's here. And more than 5,000 of whom are international students from almost 100 nations of the world. We currently exist as a conglomerate of 13 institutes, united by a huge Ural Federal University banner. And we managed to create more than 18 dormitories, which are located both within the city of Yekaterinburg, close to this location I am at, and in a new World University campus I will be talking about a little bit later. Coming back to the rankings issue, which might be important for international applicants for master's or PhD level students, but not so much for the bachelor degree students. We, as I have already mentioned, hold 419th position in the Coca-Cola Siemens World University rankings and are in top 100 in several areas of research and engineering. You can see more information about that on this slide. Additionally, we, of course, are present in several other university rankings of the world, including Shanghai World University rankings. In it, we hold 4th and 6th, somewhere in between that, position in Russia in general. So we are the 4th or the 6th position according to the Shanghai World University ranking in Russia. Of course, a lot of you probably do not speak Russian as well as you would like to. And language is a long-standing issue of education all over the world. Precisely because of that, and precisely because of that reasoning, we have established a Russian language courses for international applicants and students. We have two big types of these courses. One is Russian as a foreign language, the other one is a foundation year, almost the same but quite different. And the second one provides you with additional in-depth training in various areas of research, so in engineering, in medicine, in humanities, in economics, etc. And both of the courses span for at least 1 year, but also there is an extended program for 1.5 years. You may join it today if you wish. Try contacting our Russian language course admission manager by email given on the slide and some QR codes just for you to familiarize yourself with what the preparatory course is about. And of course, the tuition fee is not so big. It's roughly 2,200 United States dollars per year. For 1.5 years, it's a little bit more, but not too much. It's not an extensive number. Coming next, of course, is what you might consider. What you might be considering of Russian education is the first stage of first level of education, usually named as the Bachelor degree programs. Right now, some of you may know, some of you might not know, the Russian educational standards are being revised a little bit, and the naming changes, although the content stays the same. And when you will be enrolling into this or that program, it may no longer be named as the bachelor degree program. However, in the end, you will receive a degree diploma saying that you have received a degree of the bachelor's of science or of the arts, depends on the program. And we cover almost all of the spectrum of education which exists, except for from the medical oriented programs. However, even that is covered by our special degree programs in medical cybernetics, medical physics, and medical chemistry related programs. You may see more on our website. General duration for all bachelor's degree programs has been 4 years for a long time. Right now, there are several courses which will be lasting a little bit more, for 5 years. That's not a big of a problem, considering the fact that many of you may begin with a Russian language course first, and then consider joining some other educational programs in the future, which might be one of our bachelor degree programs per se. And of course, we are trying to be open to those students who has not managed to learn Russian as best as it is possible for an international student. And we have several programs taught partially, but not entirely, in English. Unfortunately, there are only 3 of them, which are related to ethics, to management, and to mechatronics. I cannot delve too deep into the details of these programs because they mostly correspond to their Russian taught analytes, to their Russian taught variants. Nevertheless, this option exists. You may consider that as a destination for yourself, but be sure that you speak at least some Russian, like A2, B1 level would be sufficient, I suppose. Coming next, of course, we do once again understand that learning Russian, speaking Russian might be difficult. I'm not talking about writing, because by the end of the Russian language course, almost everybody writes Russian perfectly fine to study. Because of the difficulties the international students may come across during their educational process, we have managed to develop and sustain at least 13 master degree programs taught entirely in English, and many more master degree programs exist as Russian taught, of course. You can see all of them listed on the slide. However, I must stress that this list is not final. Something may change in the course of time passing by, and by the middle of July, we may see a little bit different structure of English taught programs at the master degree level. I suppose everything will be the same as it is. However, who knows? It depends on the decision of the academic council of the university, which program will stay, which program will be closed or renewed, reshuffled, whatever, renamed even. We cannot be sure about that. The approximate tuition fee for general master degree program taught in Russian and in English is around $3,000 per year. However, that is also subject to change, and you may receive a tuition fee discount if you will be able to pass your entrance exams well enough. The tuition fees start from 70 points in entrance exams. Not all of the applicants manage to receive it, and if you will be skillful enough, well, it will be open for you. You will pay less for education. Here, I must also stress that if this year for some reason you are not able to join an educational program in our university, you wish to start with the Russian language course, for example, then while studying at the Russian language course, you may try your luck with a scholarship provided by the Russian state. There are two types of the scholarships. I will come back to that later in my presentation when I will be closing it, by the way. Some of you might be interested in advancement of science and technology, and here I must present you the PhD or doctoral programs we have. We as well cover almost all areas of research and studies in the Ural Federal University, except for medical. However, even in this case, we have pharmaceutical development programs in PhD, which are quite popular among the international students, international PhD students of our university. Some of them manage even to get a job within the university in the laboratories we have as researchers, having some good salary paid to them, and they manage to become play a huge role in the most top-notch research projects our university has to offer or has to conduct. Whomever of you tries to search for what. Now, here, if you have questions about that, unfortunately, I and my colleagues at our admission office will not be able to consult you with that because we have a dedicated office for PhD students. You can see the email of our colleagues present on the slide. Please feel free to reach out to them any time of the day. They will be able to consult you on details about PhD programs in which you may join. The most important part of my presentation, I suppose, is a response or an answer to the question. But regardless of classes, regardless of what I'm going to study at the Ural Federal University, where am I going to live? How is that orchestrated? How is this process operated by the university? Were not we have 15 universities in the city center, in close to this location, and some other dormitories located a little bit further from this place. All in all, of those dormitories allow at least 7,500 seats to be allocated to students, including international students, and the fees for the dormitories change constantly rapidly due to some changes in the Russian economy. Today, right now, a monthly cost of accommodation would be around 30 United States dollars per month. Those dormitories almost always come in together with canteens, with sports facilities nearby. For example, the biggest block of dormitories is located close to the UrFU Sports Center, which has a pool, swimming pool, and a stadium nearby. So you will be able to take which other kind of hobby you like in terms of sports. Living in these dormitories, not even there, you may travel safely through the city. We are quite small in terms of territory, even though there is more than 1 million of people living in Yekaterinburg right now, according to official statistics of the Russian state. And here is additional dormitory facilities we have, which have been a part of our university for 3 years now, roughly 3 years now. They are located in the new campus of Novo Koltsovo. It's a small town-like neighborhood constructed and designed specifically for students to live and study in. And by the beginning of this year, the construction of 2 new academic blocks for 2 institutes of our university has been finished. And starting from this year, some classes which this institute conduct will be held at that location. Hopefully, you will be able to experience that yourself. They are literally cutting edge technology constructed, so I suppose it will be a great experience for an international student, I'm sorry, to live in such an environment and study close to it without the need to travel vast distances during the day. For example, when I was a student, sometimes you have to travel like around 20, 30 minutes between buildings, various buildings of the university. Right now, since everything is close and located nearby within this new world-class campus, it shouldn't be big of a deal. It takes roughly 5 minutes of walk by foot from the dormitory to the place the classes are held at. So it's a haven almost for those who are willing to spend as much time as it is possible dedicated to educational process. Of course, by the end or closing to the end of everybody's educational path within this or that university or even school, a person starts thinking about where will I be able to uh, find employment? Where will be I able to find a place to prove myself as a specialist, to prove my education worth something? We try to help the students to get a job in various facilities in Yekaterinburg, outside of it. It's a little bit difficult with abroad, of course, because, well, we are just a university, not the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. However, we are open to employment of our students within the university. As I have already mentioned, while studying, a lot of our students manage to conduct research within our facilities and become research engineers within the university itself at the laboratories spread out through the university in various uh, areas of research, including natural sciences, chemical engineering, which is out of uh, mm, out of is no comparison, I'm sorry, to any other areas of research right now in terms of interest of international researchers towards it. And of course, some computer engineering and mechanical engineering laboratories do exist as well. You might be wondering, besides the living conditions, besides the educational process in the university, uh, what is a life of a general student or in the Ural Federal University? To say that it is a busy one would be a great understatement. More than 200 of sports, social, cultural events are held throughout the year, including Friendship of Nations Festival, the New Year's Eve ball and celebration conducted by different student societies of our university, including international student societies and clubs, and the specifically designed for newcomers orientation week conducted by the Adaptation Center, which exists to help international students to feel themselves here like home. As I have already mentioned, we have a vast network of academic mobility opportunities, which allows international students to travel abroad to study for a semester or 2 semesters, depends on the possibilities and openness of our partners all over the world, so that you will be receiving an additional training from a different educational facility located elsewhere, not even in Russia. That is also a possibility open for the students of Ural Federal University. So please consider this during your period of choosing which university you would like to join. Now, I would like to stop a little bit on the admission procedure. This year, as it has always been, the official starting date would be June 20th. However, we will be gathering some documents even before that. So, in the beginning of June, if you are ready to submit your application, feel free to contact us any time of day. If you have any questions as well, contact us. Here, I must note, and it's really important, that all of the documents should be in should correspond to the list you see on this slide. And the most important part would be that the documents should be supplemented with a legalization or apostille. That's really, really, really important. Without this tiny bit of stamp or tiny bit of paper, we are legally prohibited from getting you into the university. Of course, everything, I mean, everything you submit to the university should be translated into Russian and notarized by the beginning of your application process. It means that if you have something in your mother tongue, if you are from a country which speaks some unique language like Chinese, for example, you have to translate the documents. If it is in English, you have to translate that and notarize that. And I urge you to do the notarization process in Russia because some notarization services abroad are provided in such a manner that the stamp remains untranslated, and then the legal review officers see your documents and process them. It is impossible for them to even allow you to proceed due to this small, tiny detail. So make sure that the documents correspond to the list. If you have questions about whether they do correspond it or not, you may provide us for a preliminary checkup. It will not take long. We will see it on our own. Coming to the next stage of the admission process after you have submitted an application is, of course, the entrance exams. After the documents have been reviewed and everything has been considered fine, and you are allowed to proceed to the next stage, the admission divides into for the bachelor students, there are three tests. One in Russian language knowledge. All of our bachelor degree programs require that. And two other in various subjects: maths, chemistry, physics, information sciences, humanities, sociology per se, history, and all that. You may contact us to consult on which exam you will be passing, choosing this or that program. That's an open information, so feel free to contact us any time of the day. For the master degree students, at least for now, the entrance exams form is to be an interview. And that is pretty good explanation of what it is. You will be talking to the head of the program, and this person will decide whether you are eligible to join his or hers research or not. Of course, you may choose several programs and then decide if you has been allowed to join all of them. You may choose whichever you like most and then stick to it. This year, however, there is a small obstacle which is already evident to us, and this obstacle is the World Youth Festival, which is going to be held in September this year. You may actually join it if you wish. Google it, World Youth Festival Russia. You may join this as a volunteer, as a participant. I will not stop on that any further. However, due to that, the classes will start later, not in September, but in October. And the admission itself, we are not sure about that, but will be either shorter in duration or longer. That depends on how will the procedures be conducted from the administration of the university itself. For now, we urge all of our applicants to submit documents before August the 1st. However, the university has the right to conduct additional admission, which will span until October 22nd. That is official dates. They are publicly available. Nothing coming out of the blue your way anytime soon. However, if you wish to secure a place for yourself, make sure you have all the documents ready by the end of July. That will allow you to easily pass all the procedures necessary to become the student of our university. Why would anyone choose the Ural Federal University? Well, I cannot see anything stopping you from doing so. However, the choice is yours, of course. Join our vibrant and eventful community in Twitter, at our YouTube and Telegram channels. Feel free to browse through our website, which is multilingual, by the way. Feel free to ask us any question by our email or in our Telegram chat. Unfortunately, WhatsApp is no longer operating in Russia, so we are not encouraging you to join it. as well as it's banned on the territory of Russia, unfortunately. And right now, before I end my presentation, I would like to talk a little bit about the scholarship opportunities I have already mentioned. You, while studying at the Russian language course, if you consider our university to be your studying facility for that particular case, you may try to participate in various scholarship opportunities. One is general Russian state scholarship provided by the Russian houses all over the world, or the Россотрудничество. And the second choice, of course, would be a little bit better opportunity to obtain a scholarship. However, it's harder. The name of it is the Open Doors Russian Scholarship Project. It is conducted every year by an association of universities, including the Ural Federal University, and it is held for almost all areas of studies, if not all of them. You may participate in starting from September the 1st next year, so feel free to look at their website to prepare yourself for the competition, for the upcoming competition, by checking what has been already history. This year, the Olympiad has already almost finished. It will finish in 10 days for the PhD track of it. And next year, I suppose the starting date will be the 1st of September. So if you will have any questions about that, you may contact either us or our colleagues at the Open Doors Russian Scholarship Project organizing committee. That is all I have wanted to talk about today. If you have any questions, feel free to submit them in the chat, or by email, or by Telegram channel, or even call us if you wish. Thank you for having me. I'm ready to respond to any questions if there exists some.
Mhm. Mhm. Thank you so much for the presentation, Sergey Alexandrovich. So that was really interesting and useful for our prospective students. And now let's take a minute and look at the footage of the UrFU universities.
Уральский федеральный университет, один из ведущих вузов России, предлагает вам высококлассное образование, признанное на международном рынке, основанное как на фундаментальных знаниях, так и на инновациях. В нашем новом кампусе мирового уровня вы сможете раскрыть все свои таланты и получить навыки, наиболее востребованные в современном мире. Присоединяйтесь к нашему международному сообществу талантливых студентов, опытных преподавателей и ярких ученых со всех уголков планеты.
Я из Китая, и мне очень нравится у Уральском федеральном университете. Здесь сильное образование и заботливые преподаватели, и интересная студенческая жизнь. Поступайте тоже у УрФУ.
Здесь замечательный новый кампус мирового класса. Очень красивый, безопасный и комфортный город Yekaterinburg.
Ural Federal University
University, a perfect study destination for international students. Established in 1920, UrFU is one of the leading and largest universities in Russia. With its 40,000 students from 110 countries and several hundred foreign faculty and research staff, the university is an international education and scientific hub in the heart of Eurasia. UrFU offers more than 400 undergraduate and graduate programs in both Russian and English. Its campus has 16 dormitories, 72 research centers, 164 scientific labs, and 19 sports facilities. Ural Federal University has a unique location in the city of Yekaterinburg at the geographical, civilizational, and economic meeting point of Europe and Asia. Yekaterinburg is the fourth largest city in Russia, the capital of Ural Federal District. This is a modern and dynamically developing metropolis, an industrial, scientific, and cultural center of Russia. A large economic center of the world, Yekaterinburg has a highly developed infrastructure and services for prosperous life of its multinational society, diplomatic missions and consular offices in 25 countries, international airport, different religious institutions. Apply to Ural Federal University and join the talented multicultural community of the world-class university in the heart of Russia.
The university. And now, Sergey Alexandrovich, if you don't mind, can you please answer to a couple of our questions about UrFU's university?
Yeah, sure. That's why I'm here, after all.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. So the first question would be, what makes UrFU's engineering and IT programs competitive internationally?
So first things first, our university is a part of several major Russian projects, Russian state projects, including the nuclear engineering programs, including gas-oriented engineering. What I'm talking about is some huge international projects, not just Russian projects. The first one being the gas pipe in between Russia and China, which is constructed right now. And our university, will play a big role in development and education of specialists who are going to construct it, including citizens of Mongolia and China. And of course, Russia, because three countries are tied in together in this project. As for the nuclear engineering I have mentioned before, we managed to provide various Rosatom state cooperation projects with specialists in, for example, Turkey and in Egypt. So these are two major destinations where our students manage to travel after they graduate as a part of these big projects. And that's just a small, tiny bit of the big role our university plays in international technological and academic development. As for the some additional facts in regard to the engineering and IT software programs for international students, first of all, the Ural Federal University has managed to obtain some I wouldn't say big, but some research grants from various European institutions and other world organizations really connected to this area. And those grants are being dedicated to students who conduct research in computer science and in information science and information technology areas. And of course, they are supervised and supplemented by the Russian state. As for the area of studies I have mentioned several times throughout my presentation, the chemical engineering one, just so you know, a fact, a small feat our university has managed to achieve is develop a cure or a part of the vaccine against the COVID-19 pandemic. It has been conducted by our researchers, and by the way, one of them was an international student of Ural Federal University. So I suppose it shows a little bit, of course, what our university has to offer in terms of various research capabilities it can provide, and of course the future prospects for international, not just students, but international applicants considering joining Russian educational facilities. That's probably about it.
Thank you so much. We can see that your university truly can lots to offer, like to competitive. It can be competitive internationally. Well, thank you so much. And we have one more question. Are internships integrated into the academic programs?
I'm not quite sure what you mean by that, but I will try to respond to give an answer to this question. If I understood you correctly, you're asking about additional training or additional practical oriented education during the general academic program. Am I right?
Yes,
Uh,
you're right. We
yes.
meant like internships in maybe some companies that are connected to your university that you're some connection.
Generally speaking, I wouldn't say that we have some organizations and companies which are strongly or tightly connected to the university. It's the other way around. We are connected to the companies, not they to us, because our graduates manage to achieve big or small positions within those companies, including major Russian industrial companies and some other international companies. Well, one of them would be the biggest gold producer in Asia and the second in the world, a company located in Uzbekistan. And not just Uzbekistan students work there who have graduated from our university, no. Some other international students who have graduated from the school also work there. For example, for students from the Arab country managed to achieve some positions in those companies as international management specialists. As for the internships, of course, we have several opportunities for that during the main course of education and during the studies at least two times, at least two times, the students are officially obliged to join those internships, not just provided with opportunities. They are obliged to be there because how can a person master some skill or knowledge unless is in the field, unless working with the uh, equipment, with people, with technologies this person studies. That is just impossible. That's why we try to provide our students with as much practical experience, practical oriented experience as possible. Sometimes we manage to get good in this. Sometimes it's a little bit difficult due to students' unwillingness or rather uninformedness, something like that. The students not being informed about various possibilities and joining just research facilities of our university, not additional internships provided by university's partners in Yekaterinburg and in Russia, and international partners as well.
Thank you, that's great. And you have already mentioned the process, like that applicants, like international applicants, they like go through. And can you please tell us what are the most common mistakes international applicants make?
Well, first of all, it's not a mistake, it's rather a misunderstanding of the procedure itself. the applicants, while considering joining our university, believe that if they have read the website and obtained all the documents correlating the lists we provide, that they will be easily allowed to just join the university without any exams or whatever. No, it's not like that, of course. And as I have already mentioned, it is really, really important that they do not just only correspond to the list, but also are reviewed and allowed to be utilized for admission by our legal review officers. And that is a misunderstanding of the process. It's not a mistake. If we are talking about the mistakes, that would be choosing various recruitment agencies or translation agencies which do not provide necessary services. For example, some translation agencies do not help the students to get notary stamps. Some translation agencies make mistakes within translations, and the people usually believe that they are right and everything is fine. But it may become a problem when the documents are submitted to us and we speak Russian, right? And when you read those translations, they contain a lot of mistakes, starting from incorrect translation of what person gender is, to mistakes in names, in even letters of general words like, for example, strana, country. There might be mistakes in there. So it's really, really important to check everything before you finalize the set of documents needed for admission. If you are hesitant about it or frustrated about it, you fear that some documents will not correspond our requirements, feel free to contact us. Just show them to us before the admission starts. We will try to guide you through that, or to at least guide you to a particular guide you in a particular way so that you obtain everything in the right way. I'm sorry for such a poor choice of words, but that's how it is. And the final mistake would be that people do not try to research what not just the university has to offer, what our city is. We try to tell about that to everybody, but it seems not a lot of people try to read more about it. So before you travel to Russia, try read more about what we are, and hopefully that will allow you to mitigate all the negative sides of traveling abroad. So you will not be frustrated with people not speaking fluent English in the streets. I do speak English. My colleague here, Miss Camilla, also speaks English, but some people may not be that fluent and that open to talk in English. Might I say? If you will be speaking Russian, they will be open from from the beginning, and they will help you almost with anything, except, I don't know, maybe buying an enterprise here, opening a business, whatever. That's not where you will go. So I guess these are three mistakes. In short, that would be misunderstanding the procedure of admission, um, not checking the validity of documents, the fact that they are correct and correspond to the requirements set by us. And the last thing is not researching enough information about what Russia, Yekaterinburg, and the Ural Federal University is.
Thank you so much. That was really detailed answer. And as you mentioned, like that, it is really important from the beginning to prepare documents correctly with the correct agency. That's where we want to like say a word about it, because that's really is that really may be a problem for some students, but not for the students of our agency. And as Education Solution, we are here to support international students at every stage of their journey. So we are ready to lead students from the very beginning, from the translation of the documents, with the legalization of the documents and so on. If you want to take every step right, you can, of course, write us, contact us. Our YouTube and Instagram are presented here, please. And our agency are eager to help you, help international students to get each part, each step right. And as we can see, studying at Ural Federal University offers strong academic foundation and real career opportunities. Thank you so much for Sergei Alexandrovich to presenting us this really great opportunity for international students. I guess that a lot of students will be intrigued by these statements that you provided us. So that's why to not make any mistakes with going to the Ural University, you can connect us, our agency, and we will be really happy to help you with that. So, and we wanted to finish this conference with telling you that if you are ready to take the next step towards studying in Russia, our team will be really happy to provide you with individual consultations and full admission guidance. And your future starts with the right decisions and the right support. Thank you so much.